So today, the talk today is very important talk, and it's about our life force, prana. Okay, so we need to understand well, theoretically, but also we need to feel it. Okay. So Swami Sivananda, first I quote from Swami Sivananda, Bliss Divine book. He say, what is prana? Prana is the universal principles of energy or force. It is vital force, means it life force. Okay. With life force, you are alive, because there is life force and all things are alive. If you don't have life force, then you die. But it is everywhere. You need to understand that one thing is prana is everywhere. It may be in a static or in a dynamic state. It is found in all beings, from small animal to big to human. So prana is force on every plane of being. Okay? Whatever moves or works or has life is but an expression of prana. He says, it is prana that shines in your eyes. Okay? When you talk to somebody and you feel very attractive and very concentrated, because they have prana. Okay? It is through the power of the prana that the ears hear, the eye see, the skin feels, the tongue tastes, the nose smells, the brain and the intellect do their functions. That means, you are alive, or when all your senses are very sharp, then you feel very much alive. If you don't have prana, then life is like a black and white picture. There's not much color. Yeah? So then you feel very dull. Okay? So the smile in a young lady, why somebody smiles and there's a lot of prana. The melody in the music, the words from an orator, a person a speaker, the charm in the speech of somebody that you love, all are due to prana. Okay? Fire burns through prana. Wind blows through prana. Rivers flows through prana. Airplane move through prana. Okay? So prana is magnetism or attraction. Prana is electricity. It is prana that pumps your blood from the heart to the arteries or blood vessels. It is prana that does digestion, excretion and secretion. So a lot of people have problem with their digestive system. They don't digest their food well, and they cannot evacuate well. All these are due to problem of prana. So if you have prana, then most likely you are healthy. Okay? So prana is supplied by all the 5 elements of nature. And then you can store the prana. Okay? So then it's like you have a battery in your vehicle, your body, and you store up the prana for another time. So let's say all the time you spend your prana, whatever you recharge your prana like electricity, is like your cell phone, you have to recharge every day. And if you spend all the prana, the battery is dead. Yeah? But if you charge, and then you can store also the prana in your solar plexus. And then when the day when you need, sometimes you need some kind of, you have some kind of problem and you need to think really, spend a lot of prana to solve the problem, then you have prana reserve. Okay. If every day you spend more prana and you don't recharge, then you function out of pranic debt. That means all the time you are in debt, all the time you are tired. From one day to another, you're tired, you are exhausted. Okay. So that's not very wise. So the wise thing to do is to all the time recharge your prana, have the maximum intake of prana, and you have to know what to do, and also spend less. Be very careful of your prana, because the moment that you get sick, then it's very difficult. Your battery go down. Okay, so live a yogic life in order for you to gain a lot of prana. Prana is success. Prana is joy. Prana is health. Prana is everything in this life. So for the yogi, it's most important thing to know and to be aware of. Okay, so in the morning when you wake up, you need to know your level of prana. Okay, you have to feel right away. How's my prana today? And also throughout the day, you have to feel your prana. And you have to know when to switch into the mode of recharge. When you relax, basically you recharge. Okay. So there is 5 things that you need to do with prana. Is you need to accumulate, increase prana, and you need to balance prana. You need to know how to use the prana. We call the channel the prana. And you need to purify the prana. Okay. So we will talk a little bit about all this today. So you need to know that prana is in your astral body. Okay. And it's generated mostly by your breath. But also there are many different ways how you generate prana. And it's in your astral body, which is your subtle body. So even though you breathe physically, but it is the prana that you get. So in your subtle body, you have the different layers. You have the prana maya kosha, for those who have studied. Then the layer of prana. And then you have the manomaya kosha, which is the mind and the emotions and the senses. Very connected to prana in the same subtle body. And you have the vijnanamaya kosha, the intellect, the reasoning power. Yeah, and it's also in the subtle body. So your mechanism of thinking, feeling is all connected to prana. What that means? It means that when you have a lot of prana, you feel better, your emotions are more positive, and you think better. You have the capacity of reasoning and the capacity of decision. When we cannot solve problem and make decision, It is because we don't have enough prana. So you want to think of something and it's too tiring, too much demands on your mind, in your intellect, and you get tired, and that's how you cannot solve problem. But if you increase your prana all the time, then all the time you are effective and you can be very quick solving problem. Okay? So now we go through quickly a lifestyle, how you increase prana. So you increase prana through the 5 elements of nature. Okay? So through earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And the 5 elements of nature is connected to the 5 senses. So earth is connected to the sense of smell. Water is connected to the tongue. Fire is connected to the eyes. Air is connected to the skin. And ether is connected to the ear. Okay? So what that means? That means by smelling, you can get more prana, which is subtle energy, I repeat. By smelling, you can get more, you can get recharge, or you can lose your prana. Okay? By tasting, you can recharge, have more prana, or lose your prana. By seeing, you can recharge, have more prana, more life force, more joy, or you can lose your prana. By touching, you can recharge, or you lose your prana. By hearing, you have a lot of prana, or you can lose your prana. You see that? So, now another level that is more complicated is the level of your organs of action. Yeah, through your activity, you increase prana or lose prana. Not just only through the senses, which are called organs of perception. Okay? So, ready? So the organs of action. So every day, you have to eliminate through the anus. So if you overeat, you use a lot these organs of action, and it makes you lose prana. And through the genitals, you can lose prana by overusing it as well. By the feet, by moving. If you move too much, you can walk gently, but if you constantly moving the body, go here, go there to satisfy your desire, then you are losing prana. So now some people there cannot really move too much. You just walk around the house, in the garden, maybe. So you are conserving prana. Yeah? So you need to see the positive aspect of it. And by the hands, when you are taking, then you are losing the prana. Grasping. So if you have freedom, you can maybe just go shopping. You buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. You are losing prana. Okay? And now you cannot do it. To some level, maybe you order online, I'm not sure. Now you order online, you don't even use your hands. But this is symbolically the idea that if the more that you accumulate, the more you lose prana. Okay? And the opposite will be giving. Is giving, then you get prana. Okay? And the tongue The more you speak, the more you lose prana. Okay, unless you speak like I'm teaching right now, so I'm losing some level of prana, but I get also other kind of prana back. Yeah, which is the good feeling, the spiritual energy, because I give knowledge out. So the way how you live your life very much make you gain prana or lose prana. If you open your mouth and then you complain or you criticize or you want something, then at that time you lose prana. Okay, but if you are telling nice things to people, teaching them, or by the organs of speech, giving to people by your hands. If you move somewhere, you go to help somebody, yeah, but not to satisfy your own desire of changing landscape. Of course, when you are changing landscape because you get out of your routine, sometimes you can get prana from the changing landscape. Yeah, it's not just like absolutely you should not move, yeah, but just you need to be aware that you are the changing, the moving is making you lose prana. Okay, so so according to this, and you need to live in nature, smell the earth, smell the flowers, smell the aromatherapy, the essential oils, which is aromatherapy. Smell good things, okay? Smell the roses. Live on the ground as much as possible. Live on earth, walk on earth. Yeah? Natural products of a building, live in a natural house is better. Before, people live in earth house. Yeah, actually it's very good. Now we live in artificial housing, very tall, far from earth. There were artificial construction materials, cement and concrete. And then we go and we walk on cement and concrete. We get in our car and then go to another house. And then we climb up the elevator. And again, we live very far from earth. Sometimes we never see a tree. We never see a mountain. A mountain gives us a lot of energy. The mountain is a mountain of earth. Trees are products from earth. So you need to be in nature if you want to recharge yourself. The more that you live in nature, so I hear people in the ashram, they went trekking yesterday or so. For 3-4 hours, they walk in the forest and climb the mountains. And they have a lot of prana come from that forest bathing. They say there is a technique, they start from Japan, forest bathing. It's a way to recharge. Okay. And then if the person is not having good energy, then you can tell them to go do the gardening. Put their hands on earth, in the earth. Okay. Planting things. So then at that time they recharge. Okay. Overeating make you lose prana. So pure water give you prana. So you swim in rivers, in ocean, even standing under the rain will give you prana. Eating dry food be in a dry place. You don't have too much prana from water. Eat food should be watery. Watery food give you prana. Not to think too dry. And fruits, have a lot of water. Eat wrong food through the tongue will make you lose prana. And drink wrong thing, alcohol, coffee, soda, will make you lose prana. Anything you put in your mouth that is artificial, make you lose prana. And through water is organs of reproduction. So too much sexual activity make you lose prana. And through the fire element, then pay attention much, because we lose lots of prana from this, because we are using our eyes all the time. But be in the sunshine, okay? 15 minutes every day, that will get prana. If you are tired, you go and stand in the sunshine and breathe. Nothing you need to do, okay? Open your doors and windows so you have sunshine. Don't live in the dark, okay? Pay attention to what you see, because that will make you gain prana or lose prana. If you see beautiful color, bright color, nature, then you gain prana. If you see the computer screen all the time, or the cell phone, then you lose prana. If you see a person smiling like sunshine, then you gain prana. If you wear bright color, that's why the teacher of yoga wear yellow. And look at Hanoi, Sivananda, they paint the wall yellow. I just paint my wall yellow. So you get prana from the color, okay? And okay, so pay attention what you see. If you see, for example, graffiti, when people paint all kinds of negative, dark images on the wall, when you walk through and you look at it, that also create an impression, and then it pulls your prana down. Okay? If you watch movie and it's a negative, sex and violence, it also can pull your energy down. If you so it's related to the moving. So if you do too much movement, you also lose prana. So that's why in yoga you do very precise movement, and with breathing, so you recharge yourself in prana. But if you too much, some people over exercise, they lose their prana. Okay? And through the air element, then it's very important for us human, because we are air, we live in air. So the skin is very important. Skin is related to air, the organs of touch, and so we need to wear, for example, very natural products, so that your skin can breathe, okay? And of course you have to breathe. So pranayama, many techniques of pranayama or breathing exercise recharge your prana and balance your prana, okay? Having a good massage, therapeutic massage, can gain prana. People massage the babies, and they grow very strong. If you have babies that live in orphanage, nobody ever hold them, then they are very weak, okay? So sometimes people don't have children, but they have the old people, they have pets, for example, then through the touch, and they can gain some level of prana. And of course, like I said earlier, giving with a good heart, giving, gain prana, taking, lose prana. Okay, so try not to move too much, because you lose prana. Okay, through desiring this and that, so you're moving, go here, there, so you lose prana. If you travel by airplane, you lose prana, because of the air there is very limited. But also you travel by car, by motorcycle. When you travel too much, you lose prana. That's why the yogis sit cross legs on the ground, very firm, and do pranayama and recharge their prana the maximum as possible. You have to learn how to do pranayama and do it at least 15 minutes, half an hour every day. Or if you are very careful and you know what to do, you can do pranayama as many hours as you like. Yeah, so you can recharge your prana. And if you live in air conditioning, then you get less prana. So you pay attention not to use air conditioning. But right now with COVID, you're not also using air conditioning, I believe. Yeah. So through ether means space. Then if you indulge in some kind of rajasic music, you can lose prana. But if you listen to mantra music, you can gain prana. Yeah, what you hear is very important. So listen to mantra all the time. And of course, speaking positive things, sharing nice stories, or the best way how to recharge prana is silence. So that's why people that are sick, the doctor will not let too many visitors. The visitors come to hospital and talking and chatting, doctor will not allow. Yeah? So the person has to be in silence. But the problem is the hospital sometimes, I don't know in Vietnam, but here, people have a TV. So they don't have visitors, but they watch TV. That also make them lose prana. Okay. So talking on the cell phone too much make you lose prana. Being all the time constantly in noisy environment make you lose prana. Negative thinking, you hear your own mind thinking negatively, make you lose prana. Okay, gossiping about other people make you lose prana. Okay, so basically you need to regulate your lifestyle, try to live close to nature as much as possible, and be careful of what you do and think, and remember the source of prana, the source of energy very much is the sun, and your breathing exercise, your fresh air. Okay, so now, so that is how to increase and how to not spending so much prana. So now I'm going to talk to you about how to balance prana. Okay? So of course you have to learn pranayama exercise, breathing exercise, okay, to balance your prana, but also through your activity throughout the day, you can also balance your prana. But the most important thing you need to know is there's a two flow of energy, of prana, okay, for all of us. Yeah, one, it says the heart, sun energy, and one is called moon energy, okay? So the heart and the goal, okay? And it depends on your, you right nostril or left nostril breathing. The right nostril breathing will connect it to the left side of the brain. Okay? Left nostril breathing will connect to the right side of the brain. Okay? So the right nostril will increase the left side of the brain, means the sun energy. Okay? Right nostril will increase the sun energy. Left nostril will increase the moon energy. Okay? So now you need to balance the two, the sun energy, the moon energy. Yeah, your active mind, you know, we call male, yeah, and then your feminine nature, yeah, or your receptive mode, passive mode. Okay. So one person I talked to recently is very much a male, even though she's in the body of a female. Yeah, but very much a male person, because all the time when you talk to her and she asks you opinion, yeah, because she's in a big kind of mental problem, but she always have a solution. She tell me what to tell to her. That means, you know, it's too male, too left brain, too active, too not listening at all. The person has no capacity to be open and to listen. All the time has to control. Yeah, so this is a dominant kind of left brain, and not enough right brain. Okay, and when you have these imbalances in personality, then you have more stress. Yeah, you have more negativity. Okay, so if you have a dominant of the left brain, then you might have a heart attack, yeah, or a stroke. Too much controlling. If you have the right brain all the time, then you might be, you know, too passive, depressive. Okay, so you need to think. You need to be able to analyze and think, and you know, be rational, and to be relate to the external objects, external world. Yeah, so you need to be able to express yourself. All these are the left side of the brain. Okay, but if you are not able to express yourself, yeah, you feel a lot, but you cannot express yourself because you have too much of a right brain. Yeah, you are you feel, you're intuitive, you are introspective instead of extrovert. Yeah? Introvert or extrovert. Yeah, but you are too much inside. Yeah, and you are not able to connect to the external. You also imbalance. Okay, so you have to be able to be aware of your feeling, but also you have to be able to communicate and make sense out of the external. Be able to be thinking, analyzing, understanding. So these are all left brain. So left brain and right brain. Yeah, male, female energy, active, passive energy. Now, all this need to be balanced. Okay, so some people are more expressive. Everything they can verbalize it in words. And some people they can maybe express in music, in painting, but they cannot verbalize it. So that is the right brain person. Okay, so you need to balance these two energy, because if your energy become balanced through the practice of pranayama, independent of your personality. Everyone has a personality, yeah, more or less, left brain, right brain, active, passive, yeah, but not completely balanced. So that's why you need to learn to balance your energy in order for you to be able to access to higher energy. If your energy is being balanced, then you can access to higher kind of energy. Okay, then you can become intuitive. You be able to access your higher mind. Yeah, you can know things very quickly and you don't make mistake. But if you are very left brain or very emotional right brain, then whatever decision you make might not be the correct one. Yeah, so that's why you go around a lot. Okay, because if you are too much logical, you make a decision, then you miss the heart, you miss the emotions, then you make a decision, it might be wrong. If you are over emotional and you make a decision out of your emotions, also you might be wrong and you regret it after. Okay, so then you lose a lot of prana. So through your indecision, or through your making wrong action, and then you have to correct this action. Yeah, so that makes you are not effective. You lose a lot of energy. Okay, so we need to prevent that situation by, as much as possible, daily, you need to balance our energy. So then you can be an effective person. Yeah, you'll be able to live in the now instead of living in the past or in the future, or instead of living in the fear and the emotions and the anxieties. You need to balance your energy. Immediately you live in the here and now, and then you know a lot of things, yeah, through your intuition, and you make correct decision. Okay, so that's about balancing prana. Now, one thing that you need to understand is there is a subtle, three forms of subtle prana, which is not many people know. Yeah, it's because we just simply yoga teaching to the public, we simply just talk about prana, increase energy and decrease expenditure of energy, balancing prana, yeah, and using the prana correctly. Then you would gain prana. You know, when you use the prana correctly, you gain more prana. Okay, so like I said, if you are teaching yoga, then you gain prana. Okay, you use prana, but you invest the prana correctly. Okay, then you gain prana. So that is the knowledge of how to use your prana. But there is the subtle prana. That is called the three forms of prana: prana, tejas, and ojas. Okay, so you need to know more or less. You know, I would talk to you about this. So those who know Ayurveda, then there's three main constitution, okay, that you might have. The air constitution, the fire constitution, and the earth and water constitution. Okay? So from there, the subtle form of the Vata constitution, air constitution, is called in general prana, okay, that we talk about. But the subtle form of the fire constitution, the Pitta constitution, is called the Tejas, yeah, the energy of Tejas. And the subtle form of the water and earth constitution is called the Ojas prana. Okay, so there's the I don't want to go too deep in this. Yeah, you have to study, but you need to know that there is a subtle prana that comes from your life activity. So you need to increase this prana so that you have vitality. Okay, so everyone need to have vitality when you increase your prana. You need to have clarity of mind when you have you increase your tejas, and then you need to increase your endurance capacity, yeah, that is coming from the ojas, the subtle energy of water and kapha. Okay. So if you have prana, the subtle energy of air, then you have mental adaptability. Okay. So you have less stress. When you are rigid and you have not enough prana, then your thinking is rigid. At that time, you are more stressful. Okay? Usually, if you have prana, then you'll be able to think well and communicate well. Prana will give you a lot of enthusiasm and joy, okay, creativity and strength. It gives you the will to live, yeah, and to get well. You see, when people get sick, and sometimes they struggle to get well, because they have some energy within them that is attached to life, so they struggle to get well. Some people, they are sick and they also lose their will to live. Yeah, at that time, they leave the body because they lose their will to live. Okay, it comes from the prana. So your growth in general of your body and of your mind, it depends on prana. Okay, in the inner level, then if you have prana, you can access higher state of consciousness. Okay, you can see and feel and have insight very high into things that normal people cannot understand. Yeah, it depends on your high level of prana. Okay, prana, it makes you strong. You can cope with the challenges in life. And the most important thing you need to know is if you have high prana, then you have positive emotions. Okay, so that time you see when you are low prana, then you start to be irritated very easily. You quarrel with other people. You know, when something small it become very big, heavy, big problem for you, because your mind is not the problem is big, yeah, but because your mind is weak, your prana is weak, so the problem become heavy. At that time, you would quarrel with people, you would do something negative, so things get worse. Okay, so you need to increase your prana at that time. If a person become panicking because they need to do something and they cannot take decision, you tell them just rest, relax. Yeah, when they rest, they relax, and the prana get back to their mind. Then the emotion become more balanced. Then at that time they have a creative idea. They can solve their problem. So you increase the prana in general through the asana, the pranayama, the meditation, the diet, the proper relaxation, the 5 points of yoga. Okay, and you decrease the prana. You decrease the prana through uncontrolled emotions. When your emotions are up and down, yeah, you lose prana. Okay, some people, they don't do anything, but they lose a lot of prana. Yeah, you understand? Because they carry a lot of negative emotion about small thing, big thing. All the time they have negative emotion. So at that time they spend the prana, they lose the prana. If they worry a lot, if you worry, you have anxiety, you're afraid that you're going to get sick, yeah, then you lose prana. Okay, right away. The moment that you're afraid that you get sick, then you become sick, yeah, because you lose your prana, and when you lose your prana, you become sick. Okay, so prana, strong prana, give you strong immune system. Okay, so try to forgive other people. Okay, don't be angry. Yeah, some people are in quarantine, they live in a small quarters with family members. Normally they go out, they don't see people. They see each other 1 or 2 hours a day. But now they have to see each other for 10 hours a day or 12 hours a day. And then they become negative. Yeah, so all these emotions become difficult. Okay, but then at that time it also makes you lose your prana. Okay, so you have to learn to become very positive emotionally, and how to maintain your relationship so that you can have prana. Okay, and if you, like I said earlier, if you have greed, I mean you have too much desire in your mind, it makes you lose prana. So that's why contentment, not wanting anything, everything is okay, you know, not too much likes and dislikes, then you don't lose prana. Okay, likes and dislikes means you want something exactly like that, yeah, or you really dislike something because like that, then you lose prana. Okay, so the yogi maintain moderation, okay, and equanimity of mind, calmness. Yeah, everything is okay. You don't hate, you don't like too much. Yeah, you don't worry too much about the future. You don't think too much of the past. That's the reason why the yogi behave like this, because they have more prana. You are more balanced. They have more prana. Then with more prana, they can access higher functioning of the mind. And they can be much more effective, and they can be more intuitive. They can solve the problem without much effort. Okay. If not, you can solve problem, but too much effort and too much strenuous mental effort, wanting to control everything. Yeah, so that will make you lose prana. But if you can balance the prana, you work with the universe, you know that everything is helpful, nature is helpful, that there is a universal forces that is supporting your life, and then you are not worried too much, and you don't lose prana. Okay. Now, So that is the first kind of subtle energy, prana. The second time, the second type of subtle energy is called tejas. Okay, tejas means the subtle energy of fire. Okay, you need to have these two. You need to increase both. Yeah? You need to increase your capacity of reasoning, your thinking power. So people that think well, they are pitta nature. You see, sometimes they shine in the head. The head is shining, yeah, because they think. Yeah. So, but if it's imbalanced, then sometimes they think and they become very tired. Yeah. That's why they have to increase the prana and then increase the tejas. They have to be able to radiate that energy of fire and also the energy of air. So a person that has tejas, then they will be intelligent, the capacity of reasoning, they want to discover things, they're not afraid, yeah. They have a lot of enthusiasm, they are the power of self-discipline, they can say yes, they can say no, they have a self-discipline, and they have the very sharp perception. Okay? They can see things that other people cannot see, yeah, because they have strong tejas energy. And with strong tejas, they have also courage. Okay, they are not afraid of anything. They are bold. Okay, they take risk. They can accomplish things because they are not afraid. Okay, they can think about things. They can go through experiences and they can digest. Yeah? They immediately, their mind can crunch idea and impressions, and they can say, okay, so this is a good idea, but this I don't need to think about it. Okay, so because their mind is sharp. Okay, otherwise you are all confused. Okay, so in a inner level, then you can perceive and you can judge things. You have the power of discrimination. Yeah? So, okay, so the main thing is you need to increase your thinking power, have courage and fearlessness. So that is the tejas energy. Okay, so just a little bit more here is the third type of subtle energy that is very, 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 very important. Okay, and that is the ojas, subtle energy. That means you have the capacity of endurance. Okay, so some people, they think a lot, they're very creative, they think a lot, but they cannot do anything for a long time. They get tired, they want to change. Yeah, and some people, they have too much tejas, they think, and then it burns everything. So, but the energy of water, ojas, yeah, will make you be able to flow with things, stay with things, not being burned out. If you are burned out, then because too much fire energy and not enough things that sustain you. Okay, so you need to have ojas energy, or this kind of sustenance energy, to give you mental strength, because if you want to be successful, you have to be able to be strong mentally. Yeah, not just like everything you want and then you get, and then if you don't get right away what you want, then you drop. You have no patience. Yeah, at that time, that means that you are not having enough ojas energy. Yeah. So the main thing is, when you have this ojas energy, you have contentment. Contentment means whatever you are doing, you continue to do. And you are happy within yourself. Okay, so that is the main thing. You are patient and you're contented, you're calm, okay? And you have good memory, and you can sustain concentration for a long time without burning yourself up. Okay, so if you have ojas energy, you have peace of mind. If you don't have ojas energy, you're all the time restless. You have too much prana, yeah, you're all the time restless, like children, all the time restless. Okay, and then so very important for you to gain the stability. It gives you strong immune system, physical endurance, capacity for sustained work. It helps you to digest the food also, not to absorb the food. You can absorb all the good nutrients from the food. You're calm. It nourish yourself. So become peaceful, joyful, in connection with sublime thoughts. Okay, so these are the three kinds of energy that you need to balance out. How do you increase the ojas, the third energy of sustenance? How do you do that? Resting. You need to rest. Okay, relaxation. So if people burn up, they have too much energy, they burn up, then what do you tell them? Rest, relax. And they say, no, 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 I need to do this, I need to do that. You know, rest, relax. Okay, yoga, meditation, be in nature. All these things give you the sustenance energy. Okay, eat ghee, you know, clarified butter, drink milk, eat almond, and then discover your spiritual aspiration, connect to spirit, and that will give you this inspiration and sustenance. Follow your dharma, know what is the right thing to do, and follow it, so that you don't contradict yourself. You contradict yourself, you lose a lot of energy. But if you follow your dharma according to your stage of life, according to your duty in life, yeah, then you get you don't spend energy. Now, the most important thing, I say all the time, most important is bhakti yoga, devotion. Devotion means acknowledging that there is some the universal forces of heaven that is taking care of things, and you surrender yourself to it, you accept it. You don't think that you are the one that would make decision about things. You don't know everything about your life, yeah, and you think that I do this, I do that. So that egoism is make you lose prana and make wrong decision. Okay, but if you are able to follow the flow, you know, be able to adapt to a higher will. It's not my will, it's God's will. You relax in God's will or in the universal will, then at that time you have more ojas. You don't burn yourself up, and you are sustaining. You live with the flow of life. You're not working against. You're not controlling everything, yeah, and yield to the force of desire. Okay, so you go with what you are supposed to be doing and having. You are more contented. You are not following the force of desire and go get it. You see the difference? So you would lose that ojas by lack of rest, improper diet. If you try to eat only salad and you don't eat like sustaining grain or something solid, yeah, then you also lose that ojas. Yeah, you eat only dry thing. Yeah, then it get you more restless, but you don't have this complementary um, energy that help you to be more grounded. Okay. Stress, if you put yourself in a situation of very conflictual, you go against the grain, you decide to, to oppose people and to, to fight, yeah, and to not go with the flow, then at that time you become stressful, yeah. At that time you lose more energy, and then it makes you become more discontented. You go in the wrong direction, okay. And if you have negative attitude about anything, yeah, and also you maintain negative emotions, it makes you lose ojas, okay. So that means that you might have this opinion about things. This is good, this is bad. Too much opinionated, opinions. You're too opinionated. Then at that time you lose energy. You get that? That's what we said. Try to be balanced as much as possible. Okay, and you spend your energy into pleasure and senses and sex. That makes you lose the ojas shakti. Okay, and then you become needy, more sensual impression, more sexual pleasure, and you think that you need it, and you lose more energy. Okay, you become more and more discontented. Okay, but by regulating your life, by tuning your energy to higher forces, by being patient, by controlling your desire, and by forgiveness and being positive, then you gain energy. Okay, so try to increase the 3 types of prana, okay, evenly. If you have low prana, you suffer from depression and mental stuckness, mental stagnation. If you don't have enough energy of fire, then you become confused. You cannot take decision. If you don't have enough of energies of ojas, yeah, then you are unstable. You experience anxiety, yeah, and mental fatigue. Okay, you are not. You cannot continue long. So a lot of people nowadays, when you are locked down, you become anxious, yeah? And then you become impatient, you become anxious, you don't enjoy life, yeah? You are mentally fatigued. Okay, so you need to know how to regain your faith, know how to relax, and know how to love. Okay, and let go of negative emotion, forgive people, try to be nice with everything, try to recognize, how blessed you are, how much you have, instead of thinking that you are missing, lacking something. Then at that time you regain, okay, your energy lost. So that's it for now. So you prana, you understand prana is everything, is your life. Okay, so you need to live your life according to nature, and you need to also regulate your activities and your emotions and your spirit in order for you to increase and balance the energy. Okay, and eventually energy become balanced and refined, and then you live a higher life, or you have a better quality of life. Okay, thank you. So that's a big topic. I try to squeeze everything in one lesson. So thank you, everyone. Okay, give me a big, nice smile. Then I know that you have prana from this talk. If your face is very long, then I think that you are thinking too much. You are impatient, you're thinking too much. You try to understand everything and you say, Swami Sita, talk too much things that I don't understand. And then you are not relaxed and smiling and accepting and smiling. Okay? So Om Namah Shivaya. Everyone, nice smile. Thank you. Okay. Very nice. I see some people are still having the dark screen. It's not very nice smile in the dark screen. Yeah. But okay. Thank you. And I see you next time. Yeah. Thank you for following. A lot of people are very regular in this satsang. Yeah. Om Namah Shivaya. So I see you next time.